All right, let's talk about something that feels like magic. We're going to break down how small actions can spark huge, massive changes. We're diving into the theory of the tipping point.
You know how this goes, right? One day, nobody's heard of something, a song, a new gadget, a particular video, and then boom, it feels like it's absolutely everywhere. How in the world does that happen? What's the switch that gets flipped to turn a tiny whisper into a massive roar seemingly overnight?
Well, Malcolm Gladwell gave us this perfect way to picture it. He said it's like a snowball. You're not starting with some giant boulder. No, you're just giving a small snowball a little nudge. But as it rolls, it picks up more snow, gets bigger, goes faster, until it has its own unstoppable momentum. And that's the tipping point. It isn't just gradual growth. It is explosive. It's that one single magic moment where things cross a hidden line and an idea just ignites, spreading like wildfire.
So, how do you actually get to that moment? Well, the theory gives us a kind of recipe with three main ingredients. We've got the law of the few, something called the stickiness factor, and finally, the power of context. Let's break them down.
Okay, first up, ingredient number one, the law of the few. And this is kind of mind-blowing. The idea here is that you don't actually need to reach millions of people to start something big. Nope. You just need to reach the right few people, the ones who are like the spark plugs for an engine.
In fact, this whole theory suggests that these kinds of social epidemics are really driven by just three specific types of people. And these folks aren't your average Joes. They have unique social gifts that make them incredible at spreading ideas. So let's meet this crew. First, you've got the connectors. These are the social butterflies, the hubs. They seem to know everybody and they connect totally different social circles. Then you have the mavens. These are the information nerds, in the best way. They're obsessed with learning and are the first to know about a new deal or a cool new thing, and they love telling you about it. And finally, you have the salesmen. These are the persuaders. They're so charismatic and enthusiastic that you just can't help but be convinced. You need all three for an idea to really take off. But, having the best messengers in the world doesn't mean anything if the message itself is boring. And that brings us to our second key ingredient, the stickiness factor. This is all about the message. Is it memorable? Does it stick in your brain? Because think about it, if a message isn't sticky, it just won't get passed on. Stickiness is that quality that makes something unforgettable. It's the jingle you can't get out of your head, or that one story that just hits you right in the gut. Without that, the message dies. The chain is broken before it even starts. And that leads us to our third and final ingredient, the power of context. This one's so interesting because it's not about the people or even the message itself. It's about the world around the idea. The timing, the place, the culture, the whole environment has to be ready for it. I mean, just imagine this. The same exact idea can have a totally different outcome depending on the context. If you launch a brilliant new idea when everyone is stressed out and distracted, it's going to fail. But launch that same exact idea when the community is feeling open and optimistic, it could absolutely explode. Context really is everything. So there we have it, our three key ingredients. You've got the right people, a super sticky message, and the perfect context. Now, let's look at how they all come together to make something. And this, right here, is why this idea is so powerful. Because it means you don't need a giant marketing budget. You don't need a massive company behind you. What you need is the right alchemy. That perfect, magical combination of the right people, spreading a sticky message at exactly the right time. So the strategy kind of lays itself out, doesn't it? First, you got to find your few. Seek out those connectors, mavens, and salesmen who can be your champions. Second, you have to make your idea sticky. Work on that message until it's simple, powerful, and totally unforgettable. And third, you have to nail the context. Be patient, watch the world around you, and launch your idea when people are truly ready to hear it. So, let's wrap up with this thought. What is the change that you want to create? It could be in your business, your neighborhood, maybe just a creative project you care about. The beauty of the tipping point is that it shows us how huge, world-changing movements can start from just one small, perfectly placed push. And who knows, you might be a lot closer to your own tipping point than you even realize.